Do you feel behind in life? Honestly, guys, this is a feeling I've had since my early teenage years, and even being 33 years old, I still feel today. Now, if you do by chance have this feeling, it's something that is quite common. And the reason why I say that is because I actually complain often on TikTok about it nowadays. And I've built a pretty substantial following with people that relate to me and understand that, hey, I feel like I'm behind in life too when it comes to dating, or I feel like I'm still behind when it comes to my life financially. And the reason for a lot of that is social media, Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok, all these other social media platforms that all they do is really give you a snapshot of someone's life. They don't give you all the good. They don't give you all the bad. If anything, they give you way more good than bad. So all you get to see are the highlights of people's lives, and that's what you have to compare yours to. So when it comes to social media and you're comparing yourself to maybe others that are the same age as you, and you're seeing them post their brand new car, and you're just so lost as to why you can't afford that same kind of car, even though you went to the same high school or same college as them. And vice versa, they're posting their picture of their family with 2 kids in their early 30s, and here I am being 33 without a wife, without any kids. It's hard not to compare yourself to other people, especially when you see other people constantly succeeding, which is what social media is about. It's just about showcasing how my life is great, even though in reality, oftentimes social media is a lot of lies. And to give you guys some insight on my personal life, a majority of my teenage years and those years in my 20s was exactly that, feeling like I was either behind in my personal life or behind financially. At the age of 17 is when I graduated high school. That's when all of my friends went off to either Washington State University or University of Washington. I, however, made the choice to stay back in my hometown, go to a community college because of a relationship at the time. It was a high school relationship that obviously didn't pan out. And I felt like when I was going to that community college, I was behind because everyone else was at a big 4-year college. Then you fast forward a year or two, and I decided to join the Marine Corps at 19 through 23. If any of you guys are veterans or in the service now, you understand when you sign a contract, you've got to fulfill that contract. So those 4 years when I was in the Marine Corps, all the way up until the age of 23, that's when all of my friends that I graduated high school with had now gone to college and graduated, and I still hadn't gotten out of the Marine Corps. Now, I was very fortunate, and unlike a lot of Marines, I was able to go to school while I was in the Marine Corps. But usually this was maybe 1 or 2 classes a semester. This actually led me to being 23 years old, living in the dorms at San Diego State University alongside a bunch of 18 and 19-year-old kids that had just graduated high school. So that's a prime example of a missed opportunity. I felt like at the age of 23, I could finally experience an opportunity that I felt like I should have at the age of 18 if I had done life right and gone straight to a 4-year college, but instead life had a different plan for me. Once I graduated at 25, I then moved over to the state of Texas and started my master's degree. I didn't finish that until I was 27, and by the age of 27, most of those folks that I graduated high school with had settled down, had a marriage with their significant other, and even possibly started having kids. Now, at the age of 27, I finally felt maybe like I was catching up to all my peers when it came to maybe financially, or at least getting somewhere in my career, having finally started to teach at the high school level. But at the same time, I had a relationship end. A relationship that I actually thought was going to be someone I was going to spend the rest of my life with. While everyone else was already either married or starting to have kids, I had to restart all over again. When I was actually at the age of 27 and just started teaching, that was also when a lot of those friends that I went to high school with were graduating from a doctorate degree. When it comes to your life, you're going to have moments that, really are turning points. For me, that turning point should have been when I finally graduated with a graduate degree. I've now got a master's in education and an undergraduate degree in mathematics. I'm finally able to start my career that not only my sister, my mom, and my grandmother were all in education. I finally felt like I had made it. But the sad reality was it took less than 3 months, that first semester of teaching, to really feel like I hadn't made it. Sometimes I wondered, is there more? I even have a memory of going downstairs in the math department and meeting a woman who was crying in the corner. She was retiring at the end of that semester and really had nothing left to give. She was in her 60s, didn't have any kids. She'd given her whole life to education. And the thing is, I look at her as well as my mother, who is still today teaching middle school PE in her mid-60s. And I just knew that that couldn't be me in 40 years. I have nothing bad to say about education. I have nothing bad to say about those folks that sacrifice and give everything they have for our future children and our generations to come. It's just something at the end of the day that I didn't feel like I was called to do. I was honestly always comparing myself to those folks that were working the 9-to-5, that had that successful 6-figure career, that had that perfect family, feeling like I'm farther and farther behind. However, I am certainly to blame for a little bit of this. Now, the last 5-6 years since I got into real estate, it's come at the cost of being behind in my personal life. My life is so much different than what I had envisioned and what I had always compared myself to, but I am so thankful that my life is what it is today. Is now I'm 33 years old and far ahead financially, even though I feel very much like I'm very far behind personally, but now I'm 33 years old, what I would consider successful, and I have those same colleagues that I went to high school with that are making great money as doctors and as dentists. Now they're reaching out to me and asking for real estate advice, asking me how to invest in real estate and how they can build their portfolio after seeing me grow mine to north of 5 million in the last 6 years. So yes, it's normal for you to feel behind. So what advice may I have for those folks out there? You may be early teens, mid-20s, late 30s, and you may feel behind in life. You may feel financially behind in life. You may feel personally behind in my life like I very much do right now. My biggest advice for those folks that are struggling is just understand that it's normal. It's not going to be necessarily a good or bad thing, but feeling the way you're feeling is absolutely normal. Now, the reason I say this is because I am a very open person, and on TikTok, it's a little bit more personal than I've been on YouTube, but I open up about a lot of my frustrations. When I have thousands and thousands of comments on one particular 7-second video saying that they're feeling the very same way I am in my early 30s, and they may be in their 20s, they may be in their teenage years, they may be in their 40s or 50s, and still able to relate to a lot of the frustrations that I'm dealing with, I'm telling you guys, it's normal. The biggest advice for you guys that I have is get rid of the noise that social media has on you. Now, I'm not someone that is advocating of not utilizing social media. It's honestly the reason my business has grown to where it is today, and I utilize social media on a daily basis. But what I've learned to do is not allow the others on social media to influence my life. Now, what I do compare myself to is the individual of myself in my past. I look back a year and want to make sure that I've grown, whether it be personally or financially. I don't want to be going backwards in life. So really, guys, just compare yourself to the old you. Look back and realize how far you've come since you were 18 years old. Look how far you've come since you were in your mid-20s, and now you're in your mid-30s with a family, kids, and you're working on getting that financial security for the rest of your life. Honestly, life is all about lessons learned. If you are applying a lot of what you've learned in the past to who you are today, I can guarantee you're going to continue to grow, you're going to continue to build, and you're going to get to a point where eventually I will be where I want to be when it comes to my personal life. Remember, you are never truly behind. You are exactly where you should be.